So here's a great piece of geotrivia coupled with one of the greatest. I'm already laughing. It's bad news. Okay, I'm going to tell you a story from my former career at the end of this, so stick around. You will die laughing. That is a guarantee. But anyway, I used to work in a local newsroom and I used to write headlines. Not exclusively write headlines, but that was part of my job. So I was a copy editor for the local NBC News affiliate here in Salt Lake City, and I also wrote content. This is before the word content existed, back before my babies were born and when they were just little. I was a health and wellness writer for the website. But as an editor who would need to edit the local, so what it was is I was an editor in the newsroom, so I would take the TV stories, take the scripts from the teleprompter software, have to write and edit them as stories, then put them online as a website, add the headline, add the photos. Oh, Daisy. She got her gingy again. So there is actually an art to writing headlines because you only have so much space. You have to get your keywords up close and you have to get clicks. And it's not that we're trying to freak people out, okay? I can't speak for everybody, but I know all the news people I know, we're very ethical people. We just got a job to do and you get really, there's a frenzy to news. You get really whipped up by it, but no one's trying to scare anybody. It's just that when you have to condense the key point of a story into like 10 words, you got to get serious about it. And so the headlines do come off as pretty like abrasive and shocking because that's the job. They have to get your attention and convey the essence of the story. And often that essence is the shittiest part of the story. But while we're on the subject, I have to tell you my greatest moment of unsung glory. So I was working the late shift at the newsroom one night, which means I was the only .com staffer, and we were our own, like we had a different management team. We weren't actually employed by the news. We were employed by the website. It was a whole thing. Anyway, so I'm there after the 10 o'clock news, finishing up all the news stories, when I get the story of all stories, the story of all stories. And I had the opportunity to do something truly incredible, but it was risky. Because it was naughty. It was irreverent. It was scandalous. Something happened that was straight out of The Onion, out of Saturday Night Live. And I took the risk, Daisy, be quiet. I took the risk and I wrote the headline of a lifetime. Take a look at this. That is real. That is real. It's real. It happened. The equine virus is called horse herpes. And these poor preteen teenage rodeo queens couldn't do their they couldn't do their thing because the virus is very deadly, very contagious. So they gave them stick ponies. I can't. Even after all these years, it's still the funniest thing. So anyway, I quietly wrote the headline. I quietly put the story online. I went home. I went to bed. When I came back to work, 2 p.m. the next day for my shift, I walked into the newsroom to a standing ovation. Never mind that in my career there, I wrote stories, health, wellness, happiness, positivity. There's no surprise there. I had millions of page views in my stories, but this, I didn't even get my byline, didn't even get my name. This was my greatest accomplishment. The story went mega viral, millions upon millions of views. I think they covered it on the Tonight Show with John Oliver. It was oh, good times. Thanks for the chance to reminisce. Oh, so yeah, headlines. Headlines are an art, and some of us are better at this art than others.